Hello traders and welcome to the Friday wrap-up, June 26th on a Friday, 2015. Traders, this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Traders coming to you live from Pattaya, Thailand. Gray skies, overcast. Looks like we're going to get some more rain today, but we welcome the rain. We haven't had rain in a long time and it's our rainy season in Thailand, so it's to be expected. Traders, this is where we look at about 10 daily charts. I don't know how many I actually have today. And we look at price action. That's all we're looking at is price action and what we can expect in the week ahead. Traders, if you would, let me introduce myself to you. My name is William Gilday. I'm your moderator for the Friday wrap-up and also the market opening preview, which we do every single trading day, Monday through Friday. And it's brought to you before the London Open. Traders, I've been trading since the year 2006. In 2008, I retired from a wonderful 27-year career as a firefighter paramedic out of the great state of Florida. Traders, I'm very involved in the Forex markets. I listen to fundamentals. I look at technicals. I try to look for opportunities and probabilities that are on my side to possibly win my trades. And yes, traders, I do lose trades. And if somebody tells you they don't lose trades, they are lying to you. Or they have a 500 pip stop. One or the other. Okay, let's get over to the legal stuff. This is our risk disclaimer. Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential of risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex markets. Most importantly, traders, please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Every time you click that button on a live account, yes, you are risking your hard-earned money. Always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. Let's head over to the commentary. I thought this week was a very good trading week. There are a lot of pit movement. I didn't trade a lot this week. I have to be honest with you. I think I only put like 3 trades on this week. And why? Because of the one word, and yes, it is Greece. And every time somebody come out from a summit or a meeting or whatever, gets in front of a microphone, the markets went up and down and all around. And it just was too risky to be taking trades with this craziness going on. I can't wait till it's over. Listen, either default or pay your whatever you got to pay and stay in the Eurozone. Do whatever you got to do. Get this junk over with. I am tired of hearing about it. It's on every news channel. It's on every blog. It's everywhere. It's Greece, 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 Greece. Well, the only person I feel sorry for are the poor people who live in Greece and have no idea what their country's going to do because the politicians can't make up their mind and get their act together. So it is what it is. But as Forex traders, remember, we are macro traders. So we when we trade macroly. We trade the whole globe, right? Because if you look at your currency pairs, we're trading all over the place. We're trading Japan, we're trading the pound, we're trading the Aussie, right? We're globally, right? We're trading globally. So, I wish this thing would just come to an end. Either get out of the euro and do your own thing, or get in the euro, do what you need to do, and get it done. My personal opinion, which is only my personal opinion, is that the creditors do not like the Prime Minister, and they're really pushing for the Prime Minister to have an election and get a new Prime Minister, and the creditors will then deal with somebody new. That's my reading between the lines of what's going on, and that's what I think is going to happen. They're supposed to have this big meeting tomorrow. Folks, if they have the big meeting, don't forget, Parliament has to agree on this, and Parliament is split. No matter which way this Prime Minister goes, Parliament is split. They're not going to come to a majority. This is just a disaster. It's an absolute disaster, and I feel really bad for the people of Greece who live there and have no idea what I call them wobbleheads are going to do or what they're not going to do. So that's my commentary for the week, and hopefully next week this will be over with and we can get back to normal trading. Traders, today we're going to take a look at some daily charts, and our charts are different. Our charts are, I'll show you in just a second here, but they're black charts now with some support and resistance lines on them. So our charts are a little bit different, but I think they're better. You get a better idea of what's going on. So let's get started. I think we've got, 12 charts, 11 charts. So let's get started. This is the euro dollar. The euro dollar, you can see on a daily chart that's just been sideways, not moving a lot this week at all. Again, going back to Greece, because nobody wants to trade this. People don't want to trade this this situation because nobody knows what's going to happen. Every time somebody says something, the market moves 20 or 30 pips in other directions. Remember, these are daily candles. So some of these candles are carrying 30, 40, 50 pips. But you can see that we're in this nasty range where we got resistance at the 200 exponential moving average. It could not break it on Thursday. And on Friday, we have a red candle. Bearish on the euro, right? We've been bearish. I'm continuing to be bearish. We are bearish on the euro. There's no reason to be bullish on it, that's for sure. So we are bearish on the euro. Let's take a look at the dollar yen. If you don't have a dollar index chart, that's okay. Just look at the dollar yen. You can see it sideways. The dollar really hasn't done anything. It's basically just maintained where it's at, and it's just gone sideways as the dollar yen has. So that is sort of a good thing. I am expecting a Fed rate hike in September. Numbers came out really good on Thursday and Thursday, and I'm expecting that we're going to get interest rate hike in September. And they've been talking about it now for like 4 months. Well, why do you think they're talking about it? Draghi did the same thing in Europe. I talked about it 4 months before they did it. He started quantitative easing, and they thought it was priced in. Well, let me tell you, the day they raise the Fed rate hikes, the market is going to respond. Let's go to the next chart. This is one of my favorites. This is the euro yen. I love trading the euro yen, and very rarely do you see this kind of price action on a daily chart where there is no movement. This is just in a sideways price action. And to be honest with you, the majority of those candles are indecision candles, and it's quite ugly. This is just a really hard trading time this week, and probably for the first 3 days of next week. We see this now. This is our third chart that we looked at, and everybody is sideways. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how this goes. Let's take a look at the pound yen. The pound is the only chart that really is doing its thing. Now, this week it's moved sideways. It's hit resistance, and now it's just in a sideways price action. Sorry about that. I didn't explain my charts to you. Those support and resistance lines are on the chart. They're put on there automatically. I got an indicator that does that, and the dotted line is just a mean line. But you can see that this is just blown out, and it's now where it is. And this is just a support and resistance area. So this is the pound yen. Listen, all the pound pairs are bullish. We've had some down days, and we'll get to the pound dollar later on in the charts. But, all the pound pairs have been bullish, and we're just going to maintain that bullish bias. Now, if you're an intraday trader, of course, you always want to reflect back to the daily chart to see what's going on. Well, if I was going to trade the pound yen, this doesn't look like a healthy chart to trade, right? So you'd have to see that we have had 2 up days, Thursday and Friday, and you'd have to take a look at whether you trade a 15-minute chart or a 30-minute chart or an hourly chart to see how you're going to trade that at that specific moment. And then, of course, looking at fundamentals. And if you would have thought 3 years ago or 2 years ago I'd be talking about fundamentals, it would not happen. But unfortunately, in today's sentiment of the market, we need to talk about fundamentals. And this is all about technical analysis with fundamentals. And the purpose of this presentation is to show us price action. This is bullish, so we just want to buy this. The problem is we're at resistance. We can't break a certain price level, and we're not in a trend, right? We're sideways. Maybe it's taking a week break, and we'll head back up to the upside. ASEAN, another one of my favorites to trade. Now, if you look at these candles, this is a little bit different. Yes, it is in a sideways price action, but look at the size of some of these candles. I mean, some of these candles are 70 pips, 60 pips. So the ASEAN is moving, and you can see this is bounced off of our support line, that yellow line, and it looks like it's just hit it on the Friday close. So I'm expecting a bounce here, as this is bullish. This pair is bullish. So hopefully this will bounce back up. This actually closed below, and just below that green line, which is a 200 exponential moving average. So we'll keep an eye on that. But as far as a trade, we want to take this to the upside because, of course, the Aussie is stronger than the yen. All right, here's our Aussie dollar, crazy Aussie dollar. I love trading this pair, but it has just been a disaster. Now, these are some big candles here, folks, and these are a lot of pips. But this is all about fundamentals. If you're going to trade the Aussie dollar, you need to know about fundamentals. You don't have to trade fundamentals, but you need to know they're there. And you need to know when announcements come out, because this pair reacts to fundamentals, and it's a commodity pair, so you need to be aware of that, especially if you get any news out of China, which we usually get in the Asia session, which I do a live trading room in. When China news comes out, it's amazing how the Aussie dollar reacts. What is our other pair that does that? Yes, the Kiwi and also the CAD. All right, let's take a look at the Euro Pound. I usually don't look at this, but I said, you know what, let's see what's going on here. And you can see that the pound is strong. Like I've been saying all along, you know, you want to buy the pound. Sure don't want to buy the euro, and this chart just proves my point. Now we're coming up to support, so now we need to watch what's going to happen in the next 2 days, 3 days, because I think basically Monday and Tuesday is going to be a waste because of the Greece thing. It's going to heat up unless they default before that, and I don't think that's going to happen. The problem is they're having, like, they wasted yesterday because they had no meetings. They didn't do anything yesterday. And now they're having meetings today, which is my Saturday, which will be your Saturday soon. Oh, it is on the East Coast of the U.S. It's after midnight. And they're having meetings. But again, even if they come to a decision or a agreement, remember, this needs to be voted by the Greece Parliament. And there is no majority on the side of the Prime Minister. So, you know, this don't look to me like they're going to make their payment on the 30th, which is Tuesday, to get this all done. And they're going to be in default. I just can't see how they're not going to be in default. They don't have enough time. They're running out of time. And it's going to be fun to watch the currency charts. I won't be trading that day, that's for sure. We're going to watch the show. You know, it's like when 4th of July comes around. Oh, by the way, it's next week. You know, you go to the beach and you watch all the fireworks. Well, guess what? This is going to be just as good. All right, here's the New Zealand dollar. This has just been a great pair to trade this week and last week. Just beautiful price action here. Comes down, fibs, comes back down, fibs, comes back down, fibs. You know, now we're at some pretty major support area. I said that last week, and it just continued down. So the New Zealand dollar is predicted to continue on the trend to the downside. So we'll see how this works out. But I am bearish on the New Zealand dollar. Absolutely, the Kiwi is very weak at the moment. They do have their issues. All right, let's look at the loonie, the old USD CAD. I put this chart up this week because I thought it was pretty interesting how much in the last 5, you know, we had three up days this week, and then we had 2 red days, down days, and Friday closed as a down day. So I'm not quite sure what happened late in New York. It's kind of early for me in Thailand, and I did not read anything, and it's my weekend, and the last thing I want to be doing is reading about Forex. It's bad enough I have to do a video, but I love doing my videos, so that's not a problem. But I did not read on why we have a down day here on the CAD, but I'm sure there's a reason. All right, let's take a look at the pound Aussie. Yeah, look at that pound. Look at the Friday candle. Absolutely, but look left of the chart about 5 candles, and you'll see it cannot break that price level. So this continues to be absolutely to the bullish side. So we just want to buy the pound, folks. Just buy the pound, and watch your fundamentals with Greece, because it's going to affect the Forex markets big time. If they default, I think the euro is just going to dump. I think we're going to be at parity before. It wouldn't surprise me if we were at parity before January 1st with the euro. It's dumping like a rock. So, and it's going to continue. And if Greece defaults, oh, it's going to be crazy. But we don't care, do we? As Forex traders, we do not care if it goes up or it goes down. We make money either way. and that's the object. We make pips, but we just have to know about it and read about it and understand it. That's why it's so important you know your technicals and your candlestick patterns and be aware of fundamentals. Let's take a look at the Euro Aussie. I love this pair. I do love this pair. I trade this pair a lot, but you got to admit this is a pretty ugly looking chart. It's sideways, but if you take a look at that big red candle, I bet that's a 70 pip candle right there. You know, that's a lot of pips right there, which looks like that was Tuesday, and you know, pretty big move there. Friday, look at that up move. Huh? Look at that up move. Aussie weak, Euro strong. You know, wow, what a surprise. But that's what it was. And look at this. Bounced off of our resistance, which is now support, but it's bounced off it for like, that's got to be 3 weeks of trading right there. But can't get away from it. So it's still there, right? All right. Let's take a look at the dollar. This is the dollar index chart, and you can see that the dollar index has gone up. Now it's dumped a little bit. I don't think this is anything substantial. I don't think there's a change. The dollar is just maintaining, like I said last week, and you know the dollar is just maintaining, and that's basically what's going on. When the dollar is not weakening, by no means is the dollar weakening, even though. The gurus out there want the dollar to get weak. They think it'll do better for the U.S. economy. However, the dollar is weakening a little bit. And of course, once they raise interest rates, you know, when you raise interest rates in any country, the dollar weakens. If you raise interest rates in the United States. So if you raise interest rates in Canada, of course, the Canadian currency gets weak. So anytime you raise interest rates, it's going to get weak. And I think that's what we're waiting for. And yes, my opinion is we are going to see a weakening of the dollar when they raise interest rates. But in sort of a way, I think it's a good thing. So all's up and up. However, I did read that there's no slowdown in the markets that we're going to see the stock markets or any of those markets head to the downside. They say this, you know, some gurus are saying the markets are overheated and, you know, they need to come back down. But the majority is saying, listen, this market is going to continue to rise. I mean, even in Asia, I think the Shanghai absolutely hit a 8-year high this week. So yeah, everything's moving. Traders, on behalf of FXCL and FXCL Excellence in Trading, I want to thank you for joining me. Remember, you know, they're our good friends and they make this possible for you. So please come visit their website at fxclearing.com. It's a great website. It's got a lot of opportunities, got some really good stuff on it. Great economic calendar right on the front page. Absolutely wonderful. Please go visit us again at fxclearing.com. All right, on behalf of myself, of William Gilday, and of course FXCL, I wish you a great weekend and enjoy your weekend break. Spend time with loved ones, friends, families, and maybe even some of your enemies. Who knows? And do some Forex homework. Always got to do some Forex homework on the weekends. Very important. And get ready for the next week of trading. I think it's going to be a great week. It's going to be, well, if nothing, it's going to be a very interesting week with this Greece situation. Traders, have a great weekend. We'll see you next time. Take care now. Bye-bye.